we are still around. I never stopped dancing, and I'm pretty active. I'm doing my solo pieces, I'm doing theater, I teach a lot, did DVDs, and I still love dancing a lot. It's just that we're kind of like in the background because you know, I'm not messing with all these kids, you know, these 25-year-old kids jumping around and being all active and stuff. But I think it could be really good to see for the worldwide community that it's still possible. I'm close to getting 50 years old now, and I'm not tending to stop. I hope that I can still dance until I'm 80 years old, and now I think it's a good time also to reanimate or remotivate other people that are also still in the scene. So I hope that after this we're going to see a lot of other battles as well, where people are going head to head, you know, with guys that have a name. Crazy Legs and me, we go a long, long way, and I think somehow we're interconnected with most of the people that are on the scene right now, somehow. I mean, I even, like, when I look at myself, right, Crazy Legs is it was one of the reasons why I even started to dance back in the days. Rocksteady Crew, they were like my big idols. Back in the days, Legs and me, we had our differences, you know, we weren't really getting along. I would have to say, you know, like through maturing and looking at this global culture today, I kind of realized that this thing is so much bigger than us, and also that we were, all these years we were fighting for the same thing. We were living the same thing. And this is what this is mainly about. Two guys are getting together, showing and embracing this culture, having a ball, you know, and looking at the outcome. Hopefully it's going to be something positive, and uniting this whole thing, you know. Also, not looking at it too serious. Yeah, like back then, everything was
serious.
So personal. Everything was so personal back then. Yeah, now it's more like you're realizing that, you know, like if you live day by day, if you look at this art form and all these battles that are happening right now, Vicious Victor winning left and right, you know, Menno like winning all these competitions. But hey, if these guys are losing a competition, it's no big deal either. And this is what this is about, I think. You know, not taking things too serious, but at the same time embracing the culture and realizing that it's good for everyone. These days, I do popping a lot more than breaking. I teach a lot. I teach a lot of breaking. But besides that, every day I work out like for an hour. I practice all my moves. I try to get inspired. You know, like whatever it is, whatever I need to work on, I dedicate myself to this art form like for an hour every day. And what I'm a bit worried about is like it's going to be a 6-round battle, so I got to work on stamina, I guess. You know, I don't want to run out of gas after 2 rounds and then, you know, like look bad the last couple of rounds. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to work on Tabata. Something I did before already, and it works out pretty well. This is one thing, and of course I have to get certain moves back in here. You know, there's so many things that I used to do that I haven't done in a while. I have to find out whether I still have the technique, whether it's still in me. I changed weight a bit, you know, but I don't think that's a problem. You know, every now and then I'm just throwing something in there and I find out like it's working out pretty well. So technically I'm not really having a problem. So yeah, mainly I gotta work on stamina. People that know me, they, you know, I'm doing solo pieces where I'm half an hour on stage. Yeah. So if you structure things right, then there shouldn't be a problem. Right. It's like running a marathon, you know, when you have a half-hour performance, it's like running a marathon. You got to know when it's uphill, when it's downhill, when there's time where you could get lazy a bit, you know, so structure is all. In a 6-round battle, it's similar. Yeah. Even though we're talking more about sprints, you just got to approach it differently. And in the 90s, we all knew like communism was falling down. Then you had like, you know, Berlin Wall breaking down, Soviet Union breaking down. And with all that, there was a moment where in Russia, the first people seen in Russia, you know, they were coming over mainly to Berlin, and they imported breaking from us bringing it back to Russia. So I think that for Russia it means a lot, because on one hand you have the originators coming from New York, on the other hand you have the second hype with all those guys from Germany that were big at the time, you know, like with the music videos and stuff that we did. So for them, you have these two things happening. So for them, watching that battle, organizing that battle with us has a special meaning. I think it's time to give a shout out to all the promoters all across the planet, because see, back then it was hard to travel and to look for b-boys and to find the right people with the heart at the right spots. Nowadays, you have so many people that have good key positions that are throwing events everywhere. I mean, we're in Singapore right now, you know, Radical Force event, and I'm loving it. I really like this. It's like, to me, this is the greatest benefit of all the work that we've done back in the days, and I never thought that it was going to come to that. So the promoters and everybody that has a strong key position that pushes the culture further in establishing it and establishing our art forms the way they did. I mean, come on, if it wasn't about that, so even if you stop dancing and or you get a little bit more inactive, if you use these key positions, this is where it's heading, and this is, I think, you know, like, this is what's necessary for the future as well. That people realize everybody can have a position in this culture, even though you're not going to be too active anymore.